Hello viewers. So today I'll be talking on education and also the nature of education. Now, talking of education, what is education? Education can best be referred to as a systematic process that is facilitated by a teacher or a tutor where the transmission of ideas, norms, values and aspiration of a particular society is being transferred from one place to another in order to make knowledge action ready at any given time. And according to John Dewey, a renowned philosopher, he defined education as the process of reconstruction of our experience, which gives meaning to our existence. And according to Fafunwa, 1974, he defined education as the process whereby young adults in the society develops the attitude and also the aptitude of which are of positive value in the society where he or she lives. Now, education is a term derived from two Latin words, that is educere and educare. Educere spelled as Educere. Now, defining education from this perspective, it actually recognizes that every individual has a potential, and this potential must actually, the society where he lives must help in the development of this potential so that the individual will be able to contribute his or her own quota back to the society where he or she lives. Now, talking about educare, that is spelled as Educare, that is the second Latin word in which education was derived from. Defining education from this perspective, it means the acquiring of necessary skills in order to cope with life problem. Now, the difference between these two types of these two Latin words is that educere is not sociologically biased because it actually recognizes the potential in one, and when this potential is being developed, will actually yield a positive uh, contribution to the society, while educare is sociologically biased. Now, moving to the nature of education. As a quick one, this is where we will be talking about the three types of education we have. That is the formal education, the non-formal education, and the informal education. As we know, the formal education, this is the type of education that we receive at school, that is our normal school program. E.g., we have our primary education, our secondary education, and also tertiary institution. And the characteristics and this type of education, that is the formal education, has some characteristics which are there is timing, yes, and that is the reason why we go to school by 8, we go and we leave our various school by 2 or 4 years. And that is the reason why it has duration, that is the years in which you are going to spend. Like now in our primary school, we spend up to like 5 years. Then our junior secondary section 3 years, senior secondary section our senior section 3 years also, and also our institution, which might be 4, 5 or 6. And also there is curriculum, there is employment of specialized teachers, etc. Now, informal education, this is the type of education we receive anywhere, anytime. An example is the education we receive at home, or the type of education we receive in our community or society where we live. Now, the characteristics under this type of education are different from that of formal education, because in this type of education there is no timing, there is no certification, and also there is no employment of specialized teacher. And one of the aspects, and one of the important aspects one must know about this type of education, that is the informal education, is that there is no age limit. As long as you have the knowledge, as long as you have what it takes to actually transfer the as long as you have what it takes, then you can go for it. Don't be surprised that an 11-year-old boy can actually be teaching a 30-year-old man on how to operate a phone, and that is an example of informal education. Now, talking about the last type of education, which is the non-formal education. The non-formal education is the type of education we receive outside our regular program or school settings. An example, we have the adult and literacy program, we have the NYSC program, etc. Now, this type of education shares similar characteristics to that of formal education. That is, the non-formal education and the formal education share some similar characteristics. And among those characteristics, we have there is timing, there is certification, and also employment of specialized trainers. So now this is how far we'll be able to go today. Stay tuned and stay tuned, and please do not forget to share and subscribe. And I'll be bringing a new content to you the next time we meet. Thank you very much.